Daniel Dubois for Pro Boxing fans, delighted to be joined via Zoom. Nick Campbell. Nick, you're a while removed from the boxing game, but I see Nick Campbell fitness is flying. Did you have a rugby team doing a bit of coaching the other day?
Hi, yeah. No. So I've got a couple of teams that I coach over here at the Strive Health Club in Jersey. So there's an academy side to the gym and there's a health club side to the gym. So in the academy side, I've got some rugby swimmers that were completing last night in the British Championships. We've got
Brilliant.
some of the boxers from the island. So it's a good bunch, good mix, and all young kids trying to improve themselves and make themselves better. And obviously, I've got a wee bit of experience, been in their shoes once before, so it's good to kind of try and pass on the knowledge that I've gained.
Brilliant. We'll leave a link to your Instagram if anyone wants to check that out. And as much as maybe hearing about fitness would be more beneficial for everyone, certainly myself included, the people here are for some boxing talk. And want to get your thoughts on the weekend's boxing coming up. Hotly anticipated rematch between Ben Whittaker and Liam Cameron. First fight shrouded a lot of controversy, ended in the draw, the falling out of the ropes. Was he injured? Was he not? I'm not actually sure if you've spoken about it before, but what was your take on that first fight between Whittaker and Cameron?
Yeah, listen, I think Liam Cameron kind of surprised everybody. He was kind of just expected to go out there and Ben Whittaker to do a number on him, look good doing it, and it was a wee step up for Ben Whittaker. But Cameron came out and really, gave a great account of himself. He's a tough man. But he's also a good boxer, and I think he showed his skill set there. He's no pushover, and I think I surprised quite a lot of people with his performance, and arguably was winning the fight up until the point it was stopped.
Yeah, and just in terms of this fight Saturday night, now I'm not sure we've ever been in a position where we're 4 days out from a fight, a main event, and we don't know how many rounds it is. Have you ever seen anything like this in your time in boxing?
Nah, listen, nothing surprises me. Do you know what I mean? I've been involved in boxing, well, professionally now for nearly 5 years, and and what I've seen in that short space of time is some of the things are unbelievable. So nothing really surprises me anymore. But listen, it doesn't really matter whether they're fighting a 10 or 12. Liam Cameron's still going to be getting paid whatever he's getting paid. So I can guarantee you they'll be in there on Saturday night. I think it's all kind of mind games for Liam Cameron and his team, and they're trying to kind of, I don't know, just put a bit of pressure on Ben Whittaker or try to make him look bad or get in his head. I don't know. But listen, I'm sure that it'll all be decided in, I'd imagine, the next 24 hours. I will not, but potentially we might not have a fight, but he's getting paid whether he fights 10 or 12. So I can guarantee you'll be making the ring walk on Saturday.
Well, let's be optimistic and say the fight does happen. Ben Whittaker, despite what happened in that first fight and the idea people have taken about his character, his hard question injury, he still goes into this fight a clear favourite with the bookmakers. Do you expect them to get the win?
Yeah, I do. I think the link up that he's made with Andy Lee, a guy that obviously I know very well and have been coached by, is going to be a game changer for him. Listen, Ben Whitaker's got everything. He's got all the talent in the world, every shot, feet work. He can showboat. He can do everything. But I suppose the unanswered question with him is what is he going to do when he's under pressure? And listen, he was under a lot of pressure against Liam Cameron in the first fight. Picked up that injury when they went over the ropes in a bit of a freak accident. And now there's question marks over his character. So one thing from linking up with Andy, I know, is that'll be the first thing he'll be looking to address is to go out there, assert his dominance. I don't think Andy's the type of coach who's not going to change who he is. It will just be moulding the style to Ben Whittaker rather than Ben Whittaker moulding Andy's style, if that makes any sense. He would take the best parts of Ben Whittaker and he'll obviously improve the areas where he thinks he needs to improve. And also having that steady kind of mind in the corner that can really keep you focused, keep you on task. That's key. Do you know what I mean? And I think Andy's going to be a massive positive influence for him in his career going forward. And I'm expecting him to put in a very good performance against a tough game man on Saturday night and get the win.
Just when you mention that, I'll ask you about Andy. feels like in the last few months he's really starting to get his flowers as one of the top trainers in world boxing. You're seeing the first couple of performances Joseph Parker had under him, people maybe thought were flat. Now look where he's at. You've got Paddy Donovan after that performance against Lewis Crocker, Hamza Shiraz linked up with him now, Ben Whittaker. From your time with Andy, did you always get the sense that he would go on to be one of the top coaches in world boxing?
It's a matter of time. I think you look at who you learn. Like obviously, Adam Booth and Emmanuel Stewart. Emmanuel Stewart arguably is one of the greatest boxing coaches of all time, in the top three, top five without question, if not the best. And then Adam Booth is an incredible coach as well. And Andy was obviously, worked under both of them. And I think if you look at Andy's style, it's a kind of mix of that Kronk combined with his own style and stuff that he's picked up for Adam, and he's kind of made his own brand now. And yeah, I think Paddy obviously found Paddy as an amateur, seen massive potential in him, and you're seeing that now with the performance he put in against Crocker. He obviously got Joe at a time when Joe was the kind of forgotten man in the heavyweight division. He's turned his career around along with George Lockhart. And now you can see the other lads all wanting to kind of get in on that success. So I think, Joe is the kind of guy when he's went out there and performed, people have went, you know what, Andy was a great fighter. He had a lot of great coaches. Maybe he's going to make a great coach. And Andy said something to me, good work leads to more work. And that's what's happening. He's done good work with Paddy. He's done great work with Joe. And that's leading to more work for him. And obviously, another good performance from Ben Whittaker on Saturday night and a win. It's going to lead to more work from when Hamza Shiraz fights, more work. So listen, Andy's probably going to get to a stage where he's going to have to turn guys back. So the performances speak for themselves that the fighters have done. Credit to the fighters, but Andy's played a massive part in that.
Yeah, no doubt. Just want to get a couple of questions on your old stomping ground, Nick, the heavyweight division. And firstly, the big news last night, Mike Coppinger of The Ring reporting Oleksandr Usyk versus Daniel Dubois 2, nearly finalised for July 12th at Wembley Stadium. Sort of the worst kept secret in boxing. There's been rumblings that this was the move basically ever since Daniel withdrew from the fight with your mate Joseph Parker. What do you make of that rematch?
Yeah, listen, I think I've spoke about it a couple of times, but what Turkey wants, Turkey gets. And I kind of listen. Who knows what went on before the scheduled fight with Joe, but it kind of felt a bit suspicious to me how he just all of a sudden got this. I want to put all that aside. That's the fight that Turkey wanted to make. Turkey's going to put the money forward for it. I can understand why Dubois wants to take that fight. It's a chance to right a wrong as he sees it. I can understand why Usyk wants to take the fight because he probably wants to shut him up after he jumped in the ring like that after Usyk's last performance against Tyson. So, yeah, it's a big fight. Like you say, it's the best, worst kept secret in boxing. It was always going to be the case. And yeah, I think it's a good fight. Daniel's obviously improved. I still favour Usyk 60-40, 65-35. I think he's just too intelligent for Dubois, too good a boxer, too good a skill set, and he might be under pressure in the early stages of the fight, but I can see him, getting the business done over the 12 rounds.
Yeah, just on Joseph Parker. I think everyone who's been in boxing or follows the sport knows why this rematch is happening, but it does leave sort of Parker on the lurch. A lot of fans on social media saying, what more does he have to do? Obviously, you've been around him. He doesn't seem the type of character who's going to get discouraged, and I suppose why would he with the success he's had? But yeah, it is. Do you think sort of hard to believe he's not got a world title shot with the run he's been on?
Just that, listen, it's boxing, isn't it? It's not necessarily. Aye, it's a hard one, really. Like, obviously, I'm biased. You know what I mean? Joe's a good friend of mine, and I want to see him get the world title shot just as much as anybody else. So, and I think arguably he deserves the world title shot out of everybody else after him. I'd say Caballero's the next man in line for a world title shot, but it'd be Joe, then Caballero on the recent performances. Those are the two men who really deserve a shot. So, yeah, listen, it's just one of them. Joe will take it in his stride. He'll be frustrated, but to him, it's God's plan, and whatever is next in line for him is what's intended for him. So he will still be training hard. I know he's over in New Zealand just now, working hard with George Lockhart, doing another little block of strength and conditioning. And yeah, whenever the time comes for him, he'll be ready. So yeah, pretty confident that it is what it is, but it's just a matter of time. They can't be denied for too much longer.
Is there anyone in particular you'd like to see Joe fight in the interim? Obviously, he's in a great position, but he's been in a great position for a while now and hasn't shirked away from tough challenges. Any names that stick out to you?
I, just before I know nothing. I've not spoke to Joe about this. I don't have any insight. This is just my own opinion. But I think the Anthony Joshua rematch would be a great fight for him, a great fight for Joshua as well. And I think in the interim, like you've said, he's got himself into this great position. So unless it's going to be a very rewarding fight for him and a chance to write one of the losses off, level up with Joshua, I don't really see too many other fights out there for him. And like he said, he's not fighting for money. It's about fighting to become a world champion. But if you're going to take a fight, it's nice to get paid a lot of money. And it would be nice to be able to overturn the last fight with Joshua. So I could potentially see that fight happening. I think it makes a lot of sense for Joshua as well. It's a guy he's already been in, already beat. It's a chance to push him back up into world title contention. It's maybe his last roll of the dice as well from a if you think about it really, if he gets beat, where does he go from there? So that's the one fight that I think makes a lot of sense for Joe and for Anthony Joshua. And it's the one fight I think a lot of fans would like to see. How long ago was it they fought at the Millennium Stadium? Was it 8 years ago in Cardiff? So
Must be.
aye, six, whatever. Aye, probably about 8 years ago. So listen, two totally different fighters now. Been through a lot of highs and a lot of lows equally, and I think it makes a great fight.
Yeah, for sure. Just a couple of quick ones, Nick, and I'll let you get on with your Wednesday. You touched on Anthony Joshua there. Eddie Hearn's been very tight-lipped for months over what his next move could potentially be. We've seen this footage of Tyson Fury back in the gym, bat hitting the pad. Do you think we are going to see that fight at some point this year, or is it just too far gone at this stage?
I think, I think Tyson, he's back in and he's fitter than ever by the looks of things, but I think it's for his mental health. I think it's just for his own personal mental clarity and his routine. And like, listen, I'm a personal trainer and coach, so I can vouch for that. This is the best medicine. Do you know what I mean? To be in the gym, and listen, it's all he's done all his life, so it doesn't surprise me that he's in beasting himself and getting in good shape and keeping himself on the straight and narrow. But I don't know. Let's never say never. There's a lot of money at stake in that fight, so if somebody offers you £100 million to fight, it's be hard to turn down, wouldn't it? But realistically, nah, I think Tyson's done. I think Josh is. I think that, like I said, I seen Eddie Hearn's interview and he said he's just recovering from an injury. So maybe him and Joe get in the ring in Wembley, a big stadium, August, September would make sense to me.
Yeah, just on Tyson, did you see the video of him PT in Paris and the chest flies?
I have.
Wasn't the
I've seen.
best form in the world, was it?
Don't know how she puts up with him. She must. She's some woman, like. But I listen. Like I said, I think he's trying to keep his focus and keep fit and keep strong, and probably at the back of his mind thinking, if I get offered enough money or I change my mind, I want to be in a position where I could get fit and ready to fight again. So who knows? But aye, I'd like to see Tyson's done it. Tyson's done it all. Do you know what I mean? Been in where the best and a world champion. So was he a two-time world champion? So I think I'd like to see Joe do that next, and I think Tyson would probably agree with me.
Yeah, for sure. Just last one, got to get your thoughts. We are, what are we, 10 days away from finally Eubank Jr. Benn. What have you made of the whole build-up for all this? I mean, the egg stuff feels like really old news now, but the Piers Morgan interviews, there's been loads of stuff going on. Have you enjoyed the build-up?
Yeah, listen, do you know what it is? It's kind of like the society that we live in today with the YouTubers and stuff like that. People get
Yeah.
wound up about it, but this is like two actual fighters that are also influencers fighting. And obviously the history of the whole thing as well. You've got the two dads that fought, massive rivalry. This has been brewing for a long time now. The controversy from the first time round with Conor failing the drugs test. That then, went away. Connor's came back. Eubanks went on, had a decent little run, overturned the Smith loss. And yeah, like, it's all adds into the pot. Do you know what I mean? But this is it's a casuals fight, as I would say it, because everybody knows who Eubank and Benn are. They're massive names. So it's a great fight. But listen, I'm looking forward to it. I've enjoyed some of the build-up. Some of it's a bit ridiculous. But listen, whether it's good or bad, it gets people talking about it, and it's going to put more bums in seats and more people buying pay-per-view for it. So it makes sense. But I think it'll be a good fight. I think it'll be a good fight. I fancy Eubank. I think he's too big for Ben. I know that everybody's been going on about how explosive Ben is and this and that. But I do fancy Eubank. He's the bigger man, more experienced, and I think it will. I think he's the one to get the result when it comes.
Well, we're not far away, so touch wood, we actually see the fight happen this time because I'm not sure any of us can do another 3, 4 months build up to this. Uh,
You know what? See, until the men are walking to the ring and the ring music's on, that's when you know the fight's 100% happening. Until then, I know too well myself with the amount of fights I've had cancelled in the past and blah, blah. Until you're walking to the ring, the fight's on. Before that, who knows? So fingers crossed. Hopefully we get to see it.
let's hope we've not jinxed it. Nick, really appreciate you being so generous with your time. I'll let you get on. Thanks very much.
Cheers, Danny. Pleasure, man. Thanks.